Imagine this. You're with friends at your favorite cafe, sipping on a hot cup of coffee. The laughs, the talking, and the smell of the food all make me feel like I'm enjoying one of life's basic joys. Until later that night, when you can't sleep, and are tossing and turning instead of falling asleep calmly. Your heart races or your stomach starts to hurt. And the next morning, instead of feeling better, you feel tired and foggy. A lot of individuals over 60 find that the coffee they used to sip without fear now seems to have a mind of its own. What used to make you feel better and give you energy now punishes you. After 60, coffee is like a coin with two sides. Most people don't know this. It protects the heart and sharpens memory on one side. On the other hand, it makes bones weaker, elevates blood pressure, and takes away sleep. And here's a twist. One of the coffees that is commonly marketed as the healthiest option is really one of the worst choices for older folks. The very person that many people trust to help them could be hurting them without their knowing. That's why we're going to tell you about the 4 coffees you should never drink beyond age 60, and the 4 coffees you may safely drink every day to improve your energy, safeguard your health, and make you feel more alive. Wouldn't it be great if your coffee helped you instead of hurting you? But before we get started, could you just do me a favor and subscribe if you're new here? We made this channel just for our elderly community. Every week, we give you straightforward medical advice and natural solutions that will help your heart and digestion. We also work to maintain your bones strong, your memory keen, and your energy consistent. You won't miss suggestions that could help you avoid unnecessary problems if you subscribe. And keep in mind that one of the coffees you think is safe could be the one that hurts you the most. In a moment, I'll tell you which one it is. So go ahead and push that red button now to join our family and get started. Why coffee affects older people differently. When you were younger, coffee didn't really slow you down. A strong cup of coffee after dinner? You may still fall asleep as soon as your head hit the pillow. A lot of folks remember driving home late at night after drinking coffee and not having any trouble sleeping when they arrived home. Things start to change after you turn 60, though. Your liver, which gets rid of caffeine from your blood, is now working more slowly. In your 40s, caffeine can leave your body in just a few hours, but after 60, it can last for 8 or even 10 hours. That cup you drank at 2 in the afternoon will keep you awake until midnight. Your gut changes too. As time goes on, the lining gets thinner and is less able to handle irritation. That implies that the same coffee that used to make you feel good and smooth can suddenly make you feel sick, bloated, or scorching. It feels like your body is saying, "This cup is too strong for me right now." And then there are your bones. After age 60, it's really important to keep bones strong. Your body has a harder time keeping calcium, which is the element that your bones require most to be strong and not break. It's not the coffee itself that's bad. It's the incorrect kind and the improper amount that can slowly weaken you. A short story. Thomas, who is 72 years old, told us about his life. He drank espresso after lunch for years. But recently, he has observed that his heart races, his stomach is upset, and he can't sleep at night. He hated waking up at night and staring at the ceiling, tired yet unable to sleep. It finally made sense when his doctor told him that caffeine stayed in his bloodstream for almost twice as long now. In the morning, Thomas switched to a lighter roast, and in the afternoon, he switched to a Swiss water decaf. He was able to sleep through the night again and wake up feeling good within a week. And here's the surprising part. Sometimes the coffee that appears the healthiest is the one that does the most harm after 60. So the question is, are you picking the coffee that helps your body or the one that works against it without you knowing it? If you want to stay healthy and powerful, you should never drink these 4 coffees. I'll show you them in the next part. The 4 worst coffees for seniors to stay away from. We just learned that coffee has various effects on those over 60. If you want to stay healthy, let's speak about the 4 varieties of coffee you should stay away from. Some of them may surprise you because they are typically sold as treats or even real, but they might produce problems for seniors that you don't need. 1. Coffees with flavors and desserts, caramel lattes, mocha fraps, pumpkin spice drinks, and those bright mixed coffees you see in cafes are some examples. They could make you feel good or even bring back memories, but the truth is that they are often full of whipped cream and sugar syrups. One big flavored coffee can have as much sugar as 3 donuts. That sugar gets into the blood fast for seniors, which makes their blood sugar levels go up and down, gives them energy crashes, and makes them acquire weight. It can raise the risk of diabetes problems, weaken the immune system, and speed up the aging of blood vessels over time. Janet, 67, a viewer, told her story. She thought her vanilla latte every morning was a harmless treat that she enjoyed. But when her doctor looked at her blood sugar logs, the surges were exactly in line with her coffee habit. Janet started, drinking basic coffee with a little cinnamon on top. Within a few weeks, her energy was more stable all day. She said, "I didn't know that my morning comfort was secretly draining me." Question for you. Do you like sweet coffee drinks, or do you only drink plain black coffee? Please leave a comment below to let me know which side you're on. 2. Coffees without filters. French press, Turkish, or too many espresso shots. Now, let's talk about unfiltered coffees, such French press, Turkish coffee, or even a lot of espresso shots. A lot of people think these real approaches are better, for your health or more advanced. But here's the secret. They leave behind natural oils like kawil and cafestol. These oils aren't entirely terrible, but they can boost LDL cholesterol, which is the bad cholesterol. For someone over 60, especially if they already have heart disease or high cholesterol, this is like quietly adding fuel to the fire. Short story. George, who was 70, was proud of making his own French press coffee every day. But when he went in for a normal exam, his cholesterol was higher than it should have been. His doctor asked him about coffee that wasn't filtered, and there was the last piece of the puzzle. George switched to filtered drip coffee, and in 3 months, his cholesterol levels got better. Unfiltered coffee may look rustic and real, but for older people with cardiac problems, it's like drinking coffee with an unseen warning label. 3. Dark coffee that has been roasted. Too much bold, smoky, and powerful are the flavors of dark roasts. A lot of individuals like the robust taste, but most people don't know that beans lose more antioxidants the longer they are cooked. What you have left is coffee that might upset your stomach, make reflux worse, and cause heartburn. If you get a burning feeling in your chest or feel bloated after drinking coffee, it could not be coffee in general that bothers you. It can be the roast you choose. Maria, who was 69, swore by her French roast every morning. But she always said she had heartburn, even though she stayed away from spicy food. It was a big difference when she ultimately switched to a medium roast Arabica. She said, "It was like night and day. I can finally drink coffee without being burned." The strongest coffee in taste could be the hardest for your body. When something is stronger, it doesn't always mean it's better. It just means it's rougher. 4. Cheap instant coffees with extras. Lastly, let's talk about coffee that you can make right away. If you live alone or don't want to deal with machines, instant coffee might be a lifesaver for convenience. But not all instant coffees are the same. The less expensive brands often use bad beans, process them too much, and add fake fillers. Some even have preservatives or extra flavors that make it hard to digest. These additives can make things worse for older people who have arthritis, inflammation, or a sensitive stomach. A short story. I knew a 74-year-old man named David who drank instant coffee every morning because it was easy. But he often said that his joints were stiff and he was bloated. His digestion got better and the stiffness went down when he switched to a better quality organic instant coffee. It's not always the coffee itself. Sometimes it's the additives that are hidden inside. The main point is that the coffee that takes the least time to make may be the one that hurts your health the most without you even realizing it. The 4 best coffees for seniors to drink. Every day we've talked about the coffees that can be bad for your health. Now let's talk about the good things. You don't have to be afraid of coffee or stop drinking it totally. In truth, the correct kinds of coffee can still be good for your health and be a part of your everyday life. Here are 4 kinds of coffee that are safe to drink after age 60 and why you should make them a part of your daily life. 1. Arabica. Coffee with a medium roast. Arabica beans are smoother, have less caffeine, and are easier on the stomach than Robusta beans, which are commonly used in cheaper coffees. A medium roast is the best choice because it has more antioxidants than darker roasts and less acidity than extremely light roasts. Coffee has antioxidants that can help combat inflammation, protect your brain cells, and maybe even lower your chance of memory loss. For older people, this implies fewer stomach problems, more stable energy, and help for their brains throughout time. Mini story. Evelyn, who is 71, told us she switched from her customary dark roast to an Arabica medium roast. She was unsure at first because it didn't taste as strong, but after 2 weeks, she realized that her stomach felt better and she wasn't having the scorching pain that had tormented her for years. It's softer, but it still gives me the morning comfort I love, she remarked. A useful tip: when you buy coffee that is already packaged, look for the words 100% Arabica on the packaging. If you're not sure, cafes often call medium roast breakfast blend or house blend. 2. Drip coffee with a filter. You might be surprised to learn that filtered coffee is one of the healthiest ways for older people to drink coffee. Why? Because paper filters catch most of the natural oils that can boost harmful cholesterol. You receive a cleaner cup with more antioxidants and no cholesterol-raising chemicals. Cultural note: in Scandinavian nations like Norway and Sweden, filtered coffee is the most popular kind. Studies have found that people in these areas are less likely to develop heart problems related to coffee than persons who drink unfiltered types like espresso or Turkish coffee. A short story. Harold, who is 68 years old, switched from espresso to drip brewed coffee after his doctor told him to. 3 months later, his cholesterol levels were better, and he said he felt less nervous after his daily coffee. He chuckled and remarked, "I guess the old-fashioned drip machine was smarter than I thought." Useful tip: if you want to do this at home, use a simple drip coffee maker with paper filters. They're cheap, easy to find, and they safeguard your heart every day without making a sound. 3. Coffee that is organic. Coffee is one of the crops that gets the most pesticides sprayed on it. Beans that aren't organic can have chemicals on them that can stress your liver and make it hard to digest. Avoiding needless toxins makes a major impact for seniors whose livers already have to work harder as they get older. A 70-year-old woman called Margaret liked her morning coffee, but it made her feel bloated and uncomfortable a lot of the time. A buddy told her to switch to organic coffee, and she did. She said she felt more settled after her cup instead of gassy or restless, and her digestion was substantially better within a month. A useful tip: organic coffee may cost a little more, but think of it as a way to buy peace of mind. Look for labels that say USDA Organic or Fair Trade Organic. These mean that the beans are cleaner and don't have any pesticides in them. 4. Decaf made with the Swiss water process. Decaf doesn't have to imply tasteless or full of chemicals. The Swiss water technique uses just pure water to get rid of caffeine, so there are no chemicals involved. This means you can still enjoy the rich taste of coffee and the health benefits of antioxidants, but you won't have to deal with restless nights, a racing heart, or jittery nerves. Peter, who was 73, loved his nightly coffee but hated staying up till 2 a.m. He was shocked when he found out about Swiss water decaf. He said, It feels like I've gotten my evenings back. I can have coffee with dessert and yet sleep well. Helpful hint: not all decaf is the same. Some inexpensive decafs have chemicals that are bad for you. To be sure you're getting the safe, clean version, always look for Swiss water process or water processed on the label. Question for you: would you try decaf if you could drink coffee without becoming jittery or not sleeping? I'd love to hear what you think in the comments. In the big view, the right coffee can help you after 60. A smooth Arabica, a heart-healthy filtered brew, organic beans that aren't treated with chemicals, or a relaxing Swiss water decaf. All of these can help you enjoy coffee every day without the hidden hazards. But now, let's talk about something that many older people don't expect: how coffee affects sleep, bones, and memory. You might be surprised by the answers. Coffee and sleep. Good sleep is one of the most important things for your health. When you turn 60, it's not only about rest, it's also about memory, heart health, and even mood. But here's the thing: caffeine stays in older bodies for a lot longer than in younger ones. A cup of coffee at 2 p.m. when you were 40 could have left your body by the time you went to bed. But after 60, that same cup can still be in your blood at midnight. That's why so many older people lie awake at night, staring at the ceiling, and wondering why they can't go asleep. A short story. Ruth, who is 69 years old, wrote to us and said she thought she had severe insomnia. She tried breathing techniques, herbal teas, and even different pillows. Nothing appeared to help, but she ultimately quit drinking at 3 p.m. She had a cup of coffee and then switched to Swiss water decaf after lunch. Within days, her sleep was better. She said, "I thought I had a sleep problem. It was just my coffee in the afternoon." Helpful. Hint: if you have trouble sleeping, only drink coffee in the morning. Afternoon, drink only water, herbal tea, or decaf. Give it a week and you might be surprised at how much better and deeper your sleep gets. And here's the funny part: a lot of older people drink coffee to stay awake throughout the day. But that same coffee keeps them from sleeping at night, which leads to a cycle of exhausted days and sleepless nights. The right tweak in timing can stop the loop. Coffee and the health of your bones. After age 60, bone strength is another huge worry. Osteoporosis and broken bones become major problems, and no one wants to lose their freedom because of a simple fall. So, what role does coffee have in keeping bones healthy? Coffee doesn't break down bones, but it can make it a little harder for your body to absorb calcium, which is the element that keeps your bones strong. It's not just coffee that's bad for you. It's coffee without enough calcium in your diet. Alan, who was 74, loved his 3 cups of black coffee every day but hardly ever ate dairy. His doctor evaluated his bone density and found that he had early osteoporosis. Alan didn't want to stop drinking coffee, so he made a simple change. He added warm milk to his morning coffee and yogurt to his afternoon coffee. His bone density was stable 6 months later, and he was still enjoying his daily cup. A useful tip: drink calcium with your coffee. Put in milk, almond milk, or soy milk that has been fortified. Or eat it with a food that is high in calcium, like cheese, yogurt, or almonds. This way, you don't have to give up your favorite drink. You just make it better for your bones. The question isn't, should older people stop drinking coffee to protect their bones? How can you drink coffee and keep your bones safe at the same time? The good news is that it's not as hard as most people imagine. Coffee and your memory. Now let's speak about one of the major anxieties that a lot of individuals have after losing their memories. In this case, coffee might be both good and bad. The good news is that drinking 2 to 3 cups of coffee a day has been linked to greater memory and a lower risk of getting Alzheimer's disease. There are chemicals in coffee that protect brain cells from harm and make you more attentive. That morning cup of coffee doesn't just wake up a lot of older people. It also helps them think clearly. I recall talking to Joan, who was 66 at the time, and she remarked that drinking a little cup of medium roast coffee in the morning helped her focus. She didn't feel shaky, she just felt clear-headed. But when she tried to add another cup, in the late afternoon it made her sleep worse, and by the next day she felt hazy and forgetful. She understood that it wasn't about having more coffee, but about having the appropriate amount at the right time. Be careful. Too much coffee, especially if it keeps you from sleeping, does the opposite. Bad sleep hurts memory consolidation, which is how the brain stores knowledge. You could be hurting your memory by skipping sleep for an additional cup. Helpful. Hint: only have 1 or 2 cups in the morning, and maybe 1 more before midday. If you go too far, you could change a good habit into a bad one. Depending on how much, when, and what kind of coffee you drink, it can either make your brain sharper or dull it over time. In the next installment, we'll talk about coffee lessons from all across the world and how different cultures enjoy coffee in ways that are better for you. People in Italy drink coffee in little amounts, in the morning and not very often at night. People in Greece and Turkey like to eat it leisurely with friends, frequently with nuts or fruit. In France, café au lait has both caffeine and calcium. People in Scandinavia like filtered coffee better for protecting their hearts. These traditions illustrate that coffee is best when it is balanced, not when it is full of sugar or drunk all day. Useful coffee tips for older people. We've talked about the worst coffees to stay away from, the finest ones to enjoy, and how coffee can affect your sleep, bones, and memory. But you could be asking, okay, what should I do every day? Let's bring everything together into 5 easy-to-follow guidelines for older people. These are modest changes, but they can have a major effect on how your body reacts to coffee after age 60. 1. Keep coffee before noon to help you sleep. Caffeine stays in your body for a lot longer when you get 60. That, 2 o'clock. At midnight, the cup can still be in your blood. A lot of older people can't sleep because of this, even though they don't associate it to coffee. A practical way to do this is to enjoy your coffee in the morning, but stop by midday. If you enjoy the ritual of having a cup of coffee in the afternoon, try Swiss water decaf or a herbal tea instead. Wait a week and notice whether your sleep seems deeper and more rejuvenating. 2. Use paper filters to keep your heart safe. Do you remember that coffee and kawul have natural oils that can elevate harmful cholesterol? Most of them get stuck in paper filters. That's why filtered drip coffee is one of the finest things you can drink for your heart. Practical approach. If you use a French press or prepare Turkish-style coffee, you might want to only do it once in a while. Use a drip coffee machine or pour-over method with paper filters if you drink coffee every day. It's a minor alteration, but it helps keep cholesterol in check without losing the taste of coffee. 3. Add milk to help your bones. Coffee makes it a little harder for your body to absorb calcium, but that doesn't mean you have to stop drinking it. The answer is easy. Drink your coffee with calcium. Add a little milk, almond milk, or fortified soy milk to your coffee. You might also have a little snack with it, like yogurt, cheese, or almonds. This manner, you can still obtain the minerals your bones need without missing out on your favorite drink. You could say that you're making your coffee good for your bones. 4. Limit yourself to 2 to 3 cups a day. Sometimes more coffee isn't better. 2 to 3 cups of the appropriate kind can provide you antioxidants, help you focus, and give you energy without making you jittery. But after that, the disadvantages start to exceed the benefits. Greater jitteriness, less sleep, and stress on your heart. Practical tip: listen to your body. Stick with 2 cups if they make you feel good. If 3 is too many, cut back. Also, keep in mind that coffee mugs are typically too big these days. You might imagine that 1 cup is really 2 or 3 regular portions. 5. If you can, switch to organic or Swiss water decaf. Coffee is one of the crops that gets sprayed the most. Therefore, non-organic beans can have pesticide residues on them. These hidden compounds can make a difference for seniors whose livers or digestive systems are weak or sensitive. If coffee is keeping you awake or making your heart race, Swiss water decaf is the safest choice because it simply uses water and no chemicals. Practical tip: when you buy coffee next time, search for labels that say USDA Organic or Swiss Water. Processed decaf. They might cost a bit more, but consider of it as an investment in your health. You'll still get the taste, the comfort, and the routine, but without the hidden dangers. In short, you don't have to stop drinking coffee to stay healthy once you turn 60. You just need to make smarter choices, drink earlier, and find a balance between what your body really requires and what you want. Comment prompt: which of these tips do you already use, and which one will you attempt first? I'd love to hear your plan, so please leave a remark. So, to sum up, the worst coffees after 60 include syrupy drinks, unfiltered forms like French press or Turkish, dark coffees that have been over-roasted, and inexpensive quick blends. Arabica coffee that has been medium roasted, filtered drip coffee, organic coffee, and Swiss water decaf are the best options. You don't have to hate coffee. If you choose the appropriate kind and don't overdo it, it can help your memory, heart, digestion, and energy. Now, I want to know what kind of coffee you drink the most. Are you going to switch after today? Please leave a remark. I will read every one of them. Please like, share, and subscribe if you thought this video was helpful. If you sign up, you'll get weekly suggestions for seniors that will help you live healthier, stronger, and happier after age 60. Here's to your health, one nice cup at a time.